What is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today we are hitting the ranked ladder for Regulation F with this Walking Wake and Charizard team. And is this a weird combination? Absolutely. Is it fun to play? Yes. So, the team has two different modes. It has a Sun mode and a Trick Room mode, and because Torkoal is so slow, technically we can have both modes active at the same time. So, let's talk about the team. Torkoal is probably the most important member of this team because it sets the sun with its drought, and it also has Yawn. Yawn is great support here because it can put our opponents to sleep, and then it makes them have to deal with a painful decision of, do they want to take the mandatory sleep turn or do they want to switch out? And then that way, that means we can potentially force them to decide if they want to have one of their Pokemon being a sitting duck or not. So Torkoal does have that Yawn support, which is going to be really nice. It also has Eruption and Heat Wave for some heavy hitting fire type attacks. If Trick Room is already on the field and Torkoal comes into battle, well, we can go Tera Fire with it if we wanted to and go for massive eruptions. We can also go for Heat Wave if our HP gets lowered, because Eruption does do more damage the more health you have, which is also why we have the Citrus Berry on the Torkoal to just help patch it up. On the Sun side of things, without Trick Room, we have Hisuian, Lilligant, Walking Wake, and Charizard as well. Hisuian Lilligant here is representing the physical attackers with Leaf Blade and Close Combat. We're going Terra Grass in case we need to hit some water types for a little bit of extra damage with that Leaf Blade. Urshifu Rapid Strike as well as Ogre Pond Wellspring are a thing, so being able to do some major damage with that Leaf Blade is going to come into play relatively nicely. We also have Close Combat to dent a lot of things, which is going to be relatively nice. And then regardless of which form Lilligant takes, whether it's Hisuian or Unova, we also have After You, which means Lilligant still wants to be Torkoal's bestest buddy and allow Torkoal to cheek out some eruptions outside of Trick Room, which is nice. So we do have that. As far as the other two main sweepers go, for the Sun side, we have Walking Wake and Charizard. Both of their abilities get turned on with the Sun, with Walking Wake's Photosynthesis, giving it a speed boost once the Sun is active, and Charizard's Solar Power is going to increase its special attack. So let's talk about Walking Wake first. It has Hydro Steam, its signature move. Normally, water type attacks are weaker in the Sun. Hydro Steam just says, no, it just didn't get the memo. It gets a 50% boost instead, so we can pop Terra Water on it if we wanted to, and then we can just make sure that Hydro Steam just goes for straight up overkill. We have Flamethrower as well to take advantage of the Sun, and then we have Draco Meteor just to blast things if we need it. And then as far as Charizard goes, we have Heat Wave, Life Orb, and Solar Power all working together just to dry out the entire battlefield by doing major amounts of damage. We have Air Slash for any fire types that want to go Terra Grass, especially fire types that have Flash Fire, which would make them otherwise immune to the fire type damage. So we have that Air Slash just to punish them that way, and plus we also have Scorching Sands if we're worried about the odd rock type here or there, or, you know, Incineroar. So we do have Scorching Sands as well, just for a little bit of extra damage. And plus, Scorching Sands also has a fun little bit of tech because it can also burn the opponent. I think it's 30%, which is relatively nice, so that is a thing. And then let's talk about the Trick Room side of things. We have Glastrier as the main sweeper here. It has Icicle Crash and high horsepower for its raw damage. It also has a weakness policy that we can self-proc with Dusclops' Brick Break, which is going to be relatively nice. And outside of Trick Room, if we did bring Glastrier, we do have Bulldoze to provide a little bit of speed support for both Charizard and Walking Wake by hitting the opponents. So without further ado, let's jump on into the video, or rather the matches, I guess. Anyways, you guys get one. Alright, so our opponent Mike here has Scizor, Iron Bundle, Incineroar, Landorus Therian, Urshifu, and Fluttermane. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Glastrier looks pretty darn good right here. We have the Icicle Crash and high horsepower to hit most of this team. We do have to be a little bit weary of the Urshifu, but that's kind of why we went Tera Poison on it, to make sure that we resist fighting type attacks to begin with. And depending on what kind of Urshifu that is, I do have Tera Fairy on the Dusclops to make sure that we don't have to worry about Wicked Blow, so we might be okay here. I do really like the Trick Room mode, so I think maybe what we'll do is we'll go Glastrier, Dusclops. We'll bring Torkoal in the back, and if that's Rapid Strike, then we don't have to worry about the water type attacks doing too much damage, because Sun will weaken the water type. And you know what? Walking Wake might be okay here too. If we can get rid of that Fluttermane, I feel like Walking Wake should be... the Iron Bundle is a little spooky, but we should be okay to bring Walking Wake. I think that's what we'll do. This is probably going to be a Glastrier game, but I'm not opposed to that. I haven't seen Glastrier very much, and honestly, I just got a brand new one. I took Spectre in the Sword and Shield DLC, and then never got around to getting a Glastrier until the very end. I did borrow my wife's Glastrier, but that's beside the point. Anyways, Incineroar the Arrogant. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so the nice thing here too is the Landorus and the Incineroar do double intimidate my Glastrier, but I don't see Trick Room not going up, and that's kind of nice. So I do have that option, and plus Torkoal going for a yawn into Incin is not the worst thing imaginable. So maybe... I think we'll switch in Torkoal, and I think we'll go for the Trick Room. Yeah, we definitely don't want that double Intimidate, but the other thing too is Dusclops is at -2 attack, which means when we go to set off the weakness policy, we're not going to do that much damage to Glastrier. Now, Torkoal is not going to appreciate the Rock Slide, but it's alright. My opponent did double into the Torkoal, so Dusclops is going to safely get off the Trick Room. We're going to get our Citrus Berry, which will be nice, so get a little bit more HP back. We can go for the Heat Wave. Dusclops flinched. Alright. I see how it is. We'll go for Yawn into the Lando slot, and we'll attempt to Trick Room again. One thing that I gotta be a little bit weary of, though, is Incineroar does get access to Knockoff again, because they took it away in Gen 8, but they gave it back for Gen 9, so my Eviolite could be in trouble. So, alright. Do I flinch again? Oh, they're going to Flare Blitz into the Dusclops this time. Torkoal flinched, okay. Well, at least we got the Trick Room finally. So, what we can do here is we at least try to Yawn the Incineroar. And I really want to burn that Lando. So I think that's what we'll try to do. I think we'll go for a little bit of support on this one. Now I don't have to worry about the flinching. I mean, what are the odds? 2 turns in a row. They're going to withdraw a Landorus. That's not the end of the world for me. Ooh, I do like burning the Urshifu. We'll get the Yawn into the Incineroar. That's great. And we missed the Will-O-Wisp, but not the worst thing that could have happened. So, let's see. The Yawn's going to be useless, but at least we have the burn option right there for the Dusclops. Now, I kind of want to let Torkoal go down so Glastrier can come in. So maybe what I'll do, I'll go for the Heat Wave just to try to break a Sash, because we don't know for sure if it's Urshifu that has the Sash or if it's the Fluttermane, because the Sun set off the Photosynthesis. So Specs Fluttermane could be a little scary, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. So we'll see how we go from there. Alright, so we know it's Detect on the Urshifu, so we know it's not a choice item. We'll get a little bit of chip into the Fluttermane. I'm probably losing Dusclops, which, that's not the end of the world. It does mean I don't get any more Trick Room, but I should be okay. Oh, I'm losing Torkoal. Alright. So, we could bring Glastrier back. And if we did bring Glastrier, we could go for the... I think we're going to... No, because both Incineroar and... what's-its-face? Landorus. They're both in the back. We have 2 turns of Trick Room. Also, yes, my cat has decided now is the optimal time to play Woofer Tunnel. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so what we could do... I think we're going to Icicle Crash into the Flutter Mane spot. And I think... No, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to high horsepower into the Urshifu. And we're going to Brick Break into Glastrier. Now, if Landorus comes out, this is not going to be great. Okay, so that's Incineroar. That's fine. Basically, I'm going to undo the... Intimidate right here. Now, if Flutter Mane switches out, great. Okay. Flutter Mane stays in with Protect. I didn't want to go for them anyways. We're at -3, so the nice thing here is Glastrier is not going to take that much damage. We'll get our Weakness Policy. That'll take us to +1. And then depending on how much damage we do to Incineroar, that could be okay. Bye-bye, Incineroar. Alright, so now the nice thing here is that at least puts us to +2, so we're only going to go down to -1. So not the end of the world. And now both Urshifu and Dusclops, or not Dusclops, sorry. Both Urshifu and Landorus are great targets to try to burn with Dusclops. So I think what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to pop the Tera Poison. And I don't necessarily want to do that right away, because if Landorus gets me with an Earthquake, that could be bad too. This is our last turn in Trick Room. We know Flutter Mane went for the Protect. Urshifu is in the back, so I think high horsepower is safe. And we go for the burn into the Landorus. I think that's what we want to do here. We go for that burn into the Landorus, and then that way, if we get it, great. If Landorus reveals Protect, good to know. Alright. So Urshifu is coming out. If we get rid of Flutter Mane with Glastrier, of course I'm missing another Will-O-Wisp, but not the end of the world. We do get rid of the Flutter Mane. That's big. Now, we do know they have the Rock Slide on the Landorus. If I pop my Tera, I don't have to worry about close combat. And if I can get into a situation where it's Walking Wake into Urshifu and Landorus, that's not the worst. I also can't Protect in front of Urshifu. So maybe what I'll do, I think I'll go for the Tera Poison and go for the Icicle Crash into the Landorus. I'm going to attempt it. I don't think I'm getting it off, but I'm going to reattempt Trick Room. Now, they Rock Slide me and I flinch. Not the end of the world on Glastrier. If Dusclops flinches, yeah, that's not good. It's not good by any means. But we do know Urshifu does have the Detect. I'm wondering if it's Scarf or Band. I don't think it's Band. It might be Scarf Lando. Urshifu is going to Tera. That's fine. Stellar. Okay. I was expecting Tera Water, but hey, Stellar's pretty cool. All right. All right. So, if they go close combat into Glastrier, that'd be amazing. But yeah, we'll go for the Tera Poison. I kind of wish I had Tera Flying now that I'm thinking about it. But there's the Rock Slide. Dusclops avoided. Dusclops avoided. All right. That's not the end of the world. Close combat. Okay. Okay. Glastrier is going to take that. We're getting our Trick Room. Now, so long as I don't miss the Icicle Crash. Yeah! There we go. Goodbye, Landorus. Oh, this battle started rough, but oh, I'm liking where we're going now. I am really liking this. I'm not even going to mess around with the Will-O-Wisp at this point. I'm just going to go for a Nightshade. We'll go for the high horsepower because it's more accurate. And we'll go for the Nightshade. I'm definitely thinking this is Sash, though. And there's no way Urshifu survives 5 more turns of Trick Room. There we go. Alright, so there's our Nightshade. And there's our high horsepower. There we go. Alright, so Walking Wake team. Walking Wake was on the bench for game 1, but hey, I'm okay with that. A good game to my opponent. And yeah, like I said, Tera Flying. Tera Flying might have actually have been a little bit better there, because then I wouldn't have had to worry about the ground. Now, the Rock Slide would have taken super effective, but anyways, like I said, good game to my opponent. All right, my opponent here has Gallade, Primarina, Clodsire, Skeledirge, Incineroar, and Hatterene. So Hatterene might have the Trick Room there. Clodsire could be interesting here, depending on what it's got. That said, my team likes... I don't know why I said my tree, but my team likes Trick Room, so I'm not too worried about Trick Room going up here. Honestly, Charizard might not be bad. Skeledirge, I do have to be a little bit weary of because of the Unaware, but we do have the Glastrier for that, so I think what we're going to do here, I think we'll go Walking Wake to start. So the nice thing here is we can bring in Dusclops if we're worried about a Fake Out. Yeah, I really like the idea of Walking Wake coming out. I don't think there's any redirection, but there is Fake Out. So maybe what we'll do here is we'll go... I think we'll bring Torkoal in the back. I think what we'll do is we'll go Lilligant, Walking Wake first. Torkoal in the back. And we'll bring Glastrier in the back. Charizard's staying at home for this one. But the main logic here is, depending on what my opponent leads, if I want to switch out either Dusclops or Lilligant or Walking Wake, I can bring in Torkoal and then activate the other's respective ability. And then that way, too, I can go for Fast Eruption with Lilligant. It's Gallade and Incineroar coming out first. All right. So I really like the idea of being able to go for... I like the idea of being able to go for the close combat into the Incineroar. But that Intimidate has me a little bit weary. Now, I am going to go with Protect on both of these, which does let them basically do whatever they want with Gallade. If Gallade wants to set up, I just let them do that, which could be a little spooky, but we can at least scout and see what they want to do. So, Incineroar went for the Fake Out. It was going to go into the Walking Wake. So, Gallade gets the Trick Room. Now, Lilligant is not in a good spot. But Torkoal would be in a wonderful spot right here. Especially, too, because, like, I don't think anything outright appreciates switching into a boosted Hydro Steam. And plus, I have Glastrier in the back. So, I think we're going to go for the Hydro Steam into the Incineroar, and I think we'll bring in Torkoal. We'll set the Sun, and then that way, too, we also have the Eruptions. Now, if they went for the Lilligant slot, Torkoal was kind of in a bad spot, but I can't see them passing up the opportunity to double up into my Walking Wake here. So, if they do, great. And if they go into the Torkoal, not the end of the world. So, Parting Shot's going to be a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. That's the big thing here is, it's not the end of the world. I can always bring Lilligant back if I need to get out there. And depending on what's... Okay, Clodsire's coming in. Let's find out. Are you Water Absorb or are you something else? Ooh, the Psycho... Oh, that was a crit. Okay. The Psycho Cut definitely hurt, but I can think of worse things right there. It's water absorb. It's not unaware. All right. Good to know. I think what we'll do here is we'll go for Yawn into the Clodsire. Try to put him to sleep. And then that way we can try to, like, stall out the Trick Room a little bit. Walking Wake's at -1, which isn't the worst thing to be at right now. I'm wondering if it's an Earthquake coming off the Clodsire. I feel like Clodsire... I don't see Clodsire enough. It is the Earthquake, which I'm not too terribly concerned about. I don't mind the Yawn into the Clodsire either. I think what we'll do here is... we'll go for a Draco into the Gallade. But I also think we're going to go for a Yawn into it too. I'm losing Torkoal, but that's fine. They're going to Yawn into the Walking Wake, which is fine. I want to sub it out next turn anyways after this Draco. So, there goes Torkoal. I'm not terribly upset about that. Clodsire's going to sleep now, so now my opponent does have to raise the question of, do they want to switch out Clodsire or keep it in, which I'm going for an Icicle Crash into that thing if they do. I'll bring out Lilligant. Let's see, this is the last turn of Trick Room, so Glastrier should try to make it count. We'll go for the Icicle Crash for the damage. Gallade's staying in. Gallade's gonna go to sleep. Oh, a close combat can be really scary into Glastrier. Probably should have Terra'd. Ooh. Well, there's my weakness policy at least. Alright. Oh, that was something, that's for sure. Alright, so the good news is I didn't take out Clodsire, which means Incineroar has to switch in. Lilligant should be able to get rid of Clodsire, and Gallade is now asleep, so I feel like Glastrier is safe. We'll high horsepower into the Gallade slot, and then that way if Incineroar does come out, they're taking that. So, Clodsire is going to go down. Okay. Hello, Noel. Oh. Bye, Noel. Alright. So, Gallade's asleep. We'll get our high horsepower. We'll pick up the double. That's nice. Alright. We also get our Chilling Neigh, which means we're going to keep our +2. Sun is gone. Now, Incineroar can't fake me out. And plus, I still have Walking Wake in the back for Incineroar, which is really nice. Hatterene's coming back. Alright, so the question is who does Incineroar want to fake out? And honestly, I'm pretty sure it's Glastrier. So we're gonna double into the Hatterene, and honestly, I'm gonna go for the Tera Poison in case they decide to just outright Flare Blitz me, and we'll high horsepower as well. The Hatterene can be really scary under the Trick Room, so let's just go from here, see where we make out. Yeah, they go for the fake out into the Glastrier, which Glastrier is packing way more damage. Lilligant did next to nothing there. So, alright, what am I doing? Ah, it's room service, alright. So, I think what we're going to do here, I think we're going to protect the Glastrier and try to go for the close combat into Incineroar. I was really worried about that Flare Blitz. Now the Psychic is just going to ruin Glastrier's day. Now, the nice thing here, too, is I am Focus Sashed. So, unless I burn, I'm keeping Lilligant this turn. Not quite enough to pick up the Incineroar, but that's fine. Alright. We got 3 turns left. We're going to close combat into the Incineroar, and we're losing Glastrier, unfortunately. Yeah. We are losing Glastrier. But we'll go for that high horsepower. No, if my opponent just decides to just pick out the Lilligant with Hatterene, that'd be awesome. So, come on, do me a solid. Do me a solid here. What? What? Oh, okay. I'll take it. I will take it. Goodbye, Hatterene. Hello, Walking Wake. Yeah. All right. I was fully expecting to lose this, but I like that outcome. We'll get Walking Wake out, and we'll just get rid of Incineroar. Glastier's going hard. Yeah, that was something, all right. Oh, here comes the Tera. Let's see. So we know they got Flare Blitz and Fake Out. Tera Grass, all right. Neither of these are going to be super effective, but with Incineroar's current HP, I'm pretty sure Glastrier can... Yeah, Glastier's going to miss. Alright, there's Darkest Lariat. At least we get to see the Hydro Steam animation there. Yeah, alright. And we have this for you. Just a special surprise. Alright, let's go for the Icicle Crash. Yeah, alright. You know, they must have felt bad for me, knowing what they did with Psychic and the Dazzling Gleam. Unless they just really wanted to make it hurt and just pick up the double with the Hatterene, like maybe they were going for that. But anyways, they must have just felt bad for me and decided to throw. But anyways, good game to my opponent. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Glastrier popped off way harder than I was expecting it to for these 2 games here. We get to see it go absolutely bonkers in Trick Room both matches. It's a shame we missed the Will-O-Wisp so many times going up into the Landorus and the Urshifu with Dusclops, but Glastrier just didn't need it, and with the nice luck that we had with that Incineroar switching in, Glastrier just absolutely just sent it into next Tuesday with that high horsepower. We got to break away from that double Intimidate, and plus the Intimidate kind of worked against my opponent because Dusclops did take so many Intimidate drops that its Brick Break just bounced off Glastrier, which was nice for setting off the weakness policy. And then Glastrier took it from there. And Glastrier must have just won over my opponent at the end of that second game because they just absolutely just threw with that Fake Out. If they had just gone for any other move other than Fake Out, they definitely would have had me there. So I do have to be very appreciative of the fact that they did misclick and go for that Fake Out. But maybe they just timed out. It could be a very possible solution to what happened. But anyways, I digress. Glastrier definitely popped off really hard. Shane Charizard and Walking Wake didn't, but I filmed 2 more matches after this video, and so we have enough content for a second video. So check that out for part 2. We're going to get Walking Wake and Charizard in action for the next part. And then that way, you know, we're not just saying it's a Walking Wake Charizard team without showing off Walking Wake and Charizard. Plus, you know what? It's just as much a Glastrier team. So anyways, I will see you next time with the follow-up video.